Hello and welcome to Soul Guidance with Adriana. I'm a soul communicator and mentor, and I help you uncover the direction of your most positive growth. I was called to do a specific intuitive message today for someone who has lost their sense of direction. So there's some messages, some intuitive information for you that wants to come through and connect with you. So let's jump in and get started. The very first card crowning this whole reading, Ace of Pentacles. Your guides and your guidance don't want you to worry about big picture, long term, way down the line. They're asking you to look one step in front of you. Just do the one next thing that you need to do. So if you really look at yourself and say, okay, what's the one thing I know I need to do, but I'm not doing? That's the thing. That's the next direction that you need to take. Your guides are not wanting you to be at the end. They're wanting you to realize that you're at the beginning, but the most important thing right now is to make that next step. Whether it's a deeper commitment to yourself or physically actually doing some kind of activity, doing something to show you tangible results of the direction you need to go. In your actions quadrant, we've got the Three of Wands. And what this says to me is that you have this vision and you're looking out into this future. Perhaps it's something you're daydreaming about, but you notice this figure is still. He's not doing anything. Or even the bear is in motion. So again, do something, not just dream about it and look at it. The Three of Wands is saying, okay, I have this big vision. I see where we could go, but he's not doing anything. So it's as if when you're planning a vacation, he's already thinking of the destination, all the things he's going to do there, but he hasn't quite planned how he's going to get to the airport. He hasn't put those little things into place yet. And that's what's going on with you. You're looking too far out. You need to bring your focus and attention back in and back just to that thing that you're avoiding. What is that one thing that you're avoiding? That's the one thing you need to do. Now, to encourage you, we've got the Four of Wands in your mental quadrant, which says, I have a plan. I know where I'm going. I know what this basically looks like. I may not have all of the details worked out, but I know what I'm doing, okay? And that's where you are. So you do have a vision. You do have a sense of what you're trying to build. The problem is that you're stuck here, okay? There's a gulf between what you're trying to build and what the building site actually looks like, right? So you've got the architect's plans all drawn up, but when you go to the building site, the foundation hasn't even really been poured yet. So how can you build that beautiful castle if you have no solid foundation underneath? So you understand I'm speaking metaphorically here, right? Why this is happening in your grounded or your physical quadrant, we've got the Seven of Cups, which is the card of delusions, illusions, over emotionality, getting lost in everything except the one thing you need to be doing. Okay, so there's a lot of distractions that you're finding for yourself. If you are one that tends to be a little bit, I want to say the word lazy, the kind of lying on the couch watching a lot of reruns or a lot of Netflix, a lot of something instead of doing that one thing, you find yourself with plenty of things to distract yourself. Maybe food, maybe other people, something. And because you're using those distractions to push this thing further and further away, what it actually does is it magnifies the gulf and the frustration, the tension between these two things. Let's see if I can explain this. You've got one thing that really wants to be done, that one step that wants to happen, and you're pushing everything in the way of doing that one step. So it looks like you're pushing it further and further away. But what happens when you keep stretching on a rubber band? The tension gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're afraid to let go of those distractions because if you let go of one side of the rubber band, it's going to snap back and hit you, right? So the more you push it away, the harder it is to actually come closer to doing it. And that one step is right there, it's right there. And it's funny because this is next to his left leg. So you're aware of it, you're sensing it, you're feeling it, but you'd rather be distracted in it. Okay, let's look at your emotional quadrant. Again, there's a truth there. We've got the Justice card. There's a truth that you do not want to own up to. There is a right and wrong about this. You're well aware of the consequences of what you're doing, but you're still choosing to not do the one thing you know you need to do. Okay? So let's get some advice on how you can move out of this. Sometimes awareness is all. So, you've heard this video, you may find yourself distracting yourself again, going, okay, wait a second. Yeah, I called myself out on this during that video. That was me. Do I really want to do this? And you might make that choice to distract yourself again, which is okay. But then the next time you go to do that, you might say, you know what? It didn't really feel that great the last time I distracted myself. Maybe I should look at that one thing. Maybe I will go look at that one thing. So you get just a little bit closer. Okay, I'm being told to clarify something, so just give me a second here. Okay, we're going to clarify the emotional, what's going on in your Earth quadrant with that emotional 7 of Cups. Okay, middle 3. Lady, Wheel of Fortune, 2 of Pentacles. All right. So it's this going back and forth between what you have and what you think might change. Okay, that's part of the reason why it's difficult for you to want to make this step forward. The Ace of Pentacles, the one thing. You're getting this sense that, okay, if I do this one thing, I'm going to set something in motion and it can't go backwards. Once we've started the wheel moving, there is no reverse. And then we've got the Empress talking about, kind of what you've got around you already, your surroundings, your environment. Okay, they're saying it's not flow. These cards have multiple meanings. So it's talking about what you've already achieved, what you already have. And this choice is asking you to let go of some of this, to have a different relationship with some of everything that you've accumulated. And you're back and forth about it. Like, I want this change, but I don't want this change. I want this to move forward, but I don't want to move forward. And that's why you find yourself distracting yourself more than usual. Okay, at this point, I think we will ask for some advice. Okay. 10 of Pentacles, interesting. Opposite of the Ace, fair lilt, the Sun, and the 6 of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, give me a second looking at them and then I'll show them to you. This is about using your power and using your power correctly. I do see a lot of support from all sides, spiritual, so guidance on the other side, as well as people on the earth helping you. But what you also need to consider is holding back from taking that one step is actually a selfish way of withdrawing and withholding your talents from the world. Okay? Putting this plan in motion is in the direction of sharing your talents with the world. So it's less about you and whether you'll succeed or not. It's more about, are you really willing to share your talents with the world? Are you really okay? Are you dying to do this? And when you think of it that way, it has less to do with you. And when you think of it as having less to do with you, it's less about success and failure because there's something else going on. All right. When you think of, will I succeed or will I fail? That's an acceptance question. You're really asking, will I be accepted if I succeed? Will I be accepted if I fail? But what is going on has nothing to do with acceptance. It has to do with the fact that you've been put together with a certain ability, skill, and talent, and it's your job to share that with the world so that others can benefit. All right. And so in that paradigm, There is no success or failure. The success or failure is doing it or not doing it, right? So I think we'll close there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you did enjoy that reading. If you're feeling like you want further guidance, please reach out, soulguidancewithadriana.com, or my email is in the description below. There are some new exciting developments coming with some video on demand through another platform. So I encourage you to subscribe and stay in touch so you can be connected to those offerings, which are coming very soon. I'll see you next time.